Hello, good day, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to yet another episode of OKX Talks, an interesting program that comes your way live on the CNETv Coins Extra TV brought to you by OKX Africa. So it's a beautiful program where we educate you, enlighten you about blockchain. We'll have discussions around different topics concerning blockchain, cryptocurrency, and fintech. So today we have amazing topic as usual. My name is Lee Ujamon here. I'm your anchor for the show. So today we are looking at a very interesting topic. Every week we come your way with amazing topics. So today we are looking at the impact of fintech in Nigeria's economy. So we've seen a lot of Nigerian fintechs are coming up with fundraise. A lot of them are raising funds. We see a lot of startups in the fintech ecosystem springing up and also doing well. So we want to be able to have a discussion around these fintechs, how are they really making impacts in the Nigerian economy. So you know how we do it for our audience. We have a segment where you'll be able to ask questions concerning this topic and any other thing you want to know about this particular topic. So let me do well to welcome our guests. We have two guests today, but now we only have one at the moment. We leave the second guest will join us at the course of this show. So let me welcome our guests. First on our list is Olubumi Fabunwa. He's a popular face, banks and blockchain. Olubumi, you are welcome.
Yeah, thank you very much, Lee. It's great to be here, and it's great to be treating such a subject as the impact of fintechs. I think it's a very interesting subject. So thank you for bringing me on to OKX Talks. I'm very glad to be here.
Yeah, it's a pleasure having you. You are welcome. You are very familiar with this ecosystem, the fintech ecosystem, and this is a very interesting topic. As I know you are always ready to jump in on this kind of discussion. So thank you very much once again. So our audience, you can follow OKX Africa on social media, Twitter and Telegram at OKX Africa. So you'll be able to get details about all the activities of OKX cryptocurrency exchange and whatever questions you want to ask on how to get started in the blockchain and crypto space. So we'll go for a very short break. When we return, we'll be able to delve into the discussion. We'll be right back. Yeah, welcome back to the show. It's still OKX Talks, brought to you by OKX Cryptocurrency Exchange Live on Coin User Strategy. Sorry for the challenges of we having some issues or technical issues of like that, which our engineers are working on that. So we thank God we are back now. So let's delve into the discussion proper. So before that, we'll be expecting Grace. She went to go import digital marketer to join us at the course of this discussion. Let's while we wait for her, let's proceed with the discussion. Furthermore, let's look at what is fintech. Let's have a discussion around the fintech ecosystem. When we talk about fintech, what are some of the things about fintech? We know that it's financial technology. What are some of the activities concerned when it comes to fintech?
Okay, yeah, thank you very much, Lee. Like you said, fintech is simply financial technology shortened, and as it implies, it means that the use of technology or the integration of technology to improve financial services. So we have a lot of financial services like payments, like lending, all these things. We use technology to enhance them, to make them more seamless, and to be able to deliver, to improve delivery of service to consumers. And relating it to different activities, you can have the use of mobile phones for mobile banking, for investment, for lending, for borrowing, and even cryptocurrency. So this is just these are examples of ways that we've been able to leverage technology to improve financial services, and that is just fintech in a nutshell. And if I'm going to go further, I can say that um, fintech fintech can be a fintech can be business to business or business to consumers. So that's B2B or B2C. And there are several types of fintechs that you can have. You can have both fintech startups. You can have regular fintech companies, or companies that integrate financial technology into their services. I believe I've made a brief summary of what exactly fintech is.
Yeah, very interesting. This looking at other fintech ecosystem in other regions, I'll be able to see how they are flourishing. And we're also happy recently Nigerian fintech startups are coming up with some raise and also a lot of things. There are a lot of innovation coming up in this ecosystem in Nigeria, most especially, which we know that Nigeria is taking the lead in fintech in Africa. And we see the way Western fintech startups are easily raising funds and also having access to good environment to do their fintech activities. So how would you say, seeing that from other regions, what are some of the challenges fintech startups in Nigeria are currently facing?
Okay. So in terms of challenges, I think that the most visible ones, I would say, are regulatory and legal challenges. And regulatory in the sense that we do not have clarity about regulations of fintech. So most regulatory bodies, um, they don't have lay down templates to be able to regulate fintechs, and I think that that's a very very big challenge. Most of our regulations and legislations for fintech have not been clearly drawn out. So a lot of businesses just get into the fintech space without really having a clear-cut understanding of regulations, a clear-cut understanding of the rules that guide the business of it. And we have so many regulatory agencies. We are not, there's no, I mean, they have too many overlapping services that they are trying to offer, or regulatory requirements. There are just a lot of regulatory challenges, and I believe that that's a very very big challenge for us here in Nigeria. Most of the regulations are not clear, they're either overlapping, or sometimes they're even contradictory. Then, of course, the legal challenges that we usually have. I think that also beckons on the regulatory challenges. So when you do not understand clearly what the regulation says about the business that you're trying to do, you begin to have legal challenges definitely because you do not have a certain boundary with which you don't know the boundary which you don't have to cross. You don't know what you can do. You don't know what you might not be able to do. So I think that just to speak in summary, those are the very, very big challenges that we have in the fintech space for now. In terms of funding, we've seen a lot of funding. We have potential. We have talent, and we have people that are thinking. We have the numbers, so a lot of that may be the challenge in other parts of the world, but then it's not a challenge for us. We just need to get our regulations in place, to be able to surmount that challenge.
Okay, interesting to know that. So if you have questions, our audience about this, because regulation is very, very important, and the legal aspect of it that he also mentioned, and the other things you have to do where to drop it in the comment section. One segment will be able to pick your questions because our startup is a very interesting area when it comes to the nation's economy because they play a lot of rules. When you talk about SMEs and all the rest of them, most of them are fintech startups. And when you talk about regulation, regulation is very, very important when it comes to fintech. So when you don't have uncertainty when it comes to regulations and the regulators are waiting, like you said, you don't know when to cross the line and all the rest of them. So that brings me to the next question. When you talk about fintech, there are these issues that some people ask is blockchain ecosystem part of the fintech ecosystem. There are some convergence between these two sectors. How do you think they relate?
Okay, I think generally there is a convergence between fintech and blockchain, definitely, because blockchain technology can be applied to finance, and we've seen that a lot in the fintech space. That companies or startups, different companies, of course, have been able to use blockchain services to customers. However, in the Nigerian space, we've not seen a lot of that. We've not seen so much advancement in that sector. That's the convergence between fintechs and I mean financial technology and blockchain, of course, and is what we keep clamoring for. And you might not. I think if you go back to regulation may be one of the challenges that we have in having that convergence between fintech and blockchain, which gives you decentralized finance. So I'll give you a very, very key example, which is cryptocurrency. You know that there is really no regulation there's nothing that regulates that is saying that crypto is allowed in Nigeria or crypto is not. All we've heard is that, oh yeah, you can't bring it into the financial services industry. And I think that's a very, very big challenge. So a lot of the traditional financial organizations that would that would help improve their services to customers with the use of blockchain have decided to look the other way because, of course, blockchain is the technology on which crypto is built. So everybody assumes that if you are trying to integrate blockchain technology, or I would say that the common knowledge is that if you are trying to bring in blockchain to leverage on whatever platform you have, whatever architecture you have for your financial services, you are trying to bring crypto into the industry. So I believe that may be one of the challenges or one of the reasons why we've not really had a very, very big convergence between both. But you see, there are a lot of companies, a lot of startups, crypto startups, of course, and that are actually using blockchain technology to offer financial services. I don't have to mention names, these people. However, we've not seen proliferation of these startups, of these companies. And maybe another example that I can give of convergence between fintech and blockchain, if you allow me, is the CBDC, the e-Naira, which a lot of us may not want to speak about. However, since it's financial technology, it's still, the CBN is providing that particular service to the public using blockchain as the architecture. So I believe that that's another convergence, maybe negligible for now, but we can still call that a convergence between fintech and blockchain technology in Nigeria.
Yeah, interesting. Thank you very much for that insight. I know, like you said, I don't really like it when everybody thinks that blockchain is the same thing with cryptocurrency.
Yes.
I know it's really there at that time. It's a very big issue, most especially over here when you see that a lot of people are thinking that blockchain is cryptocurrency, and it has really, like you said, affected the fintech ecosystem here in
Yeah.
Nigeria because a lot of them are so skeptical about integrating blockchain technology because of the stand of the Central Bank of Nigeria on the implications. A lot of issues when it comes to blockchain and crypto. So they are not certain if the regulators or the central banker is really, if they really understand this. So I know it's a very big challenge because other regions have been able to be implementing blockchain technology in their fintech and they are having positive results.
Yeah.
So let's look at some of the impacts that fintech has really done in Nigeria. Or let's look at briefly on the banking sector in Nigeria, knowing very well that you have a very good background here. So how would you say that? Or let's look far from the regulation aspect of it. Even though, let's see what are the impact that is making, even if you're not, the impacts are not really happening in Nigeria from other regions. How is this impact also happening? Let's pick it. We have options here, different options. Just briefly, let's look at our banking sector. How has fintech impacted this area?
Yes, this is very interesting. Like you mentioned, I spent a lot of my professional years, or will I say, working years in the bank. And then I think when I joined the bank was kind of like the beginning of the fintech revolution. So I can say that definitely fintech has had a very, very huge impact in banking. Before now, thanks to fintech, before now, you would not have anything like an ATM. You would have to queue in the bank to be able to get money or to be able to do anything on your bank account. But with the revolution, with the fintech revolution, we started seeing things like the ATM, that's the automated teller machine. That was a very, very big breakthrough for a country like Nigeria, thanks to fintech. Because of fintech, you can move money from bank A to bank B, which was almost impossible before. You probably have to write checks that will clear in 2 days, or you probably have to wait, go to the bank and fill forms. But right now, you can just from the comfort of your home, do transactions, do transfer, do different transfer. You can recharge on your phone, you can make payments, you can do all these things. These things have, disrupted. I mean, fintech has practically disrupted the banking services space. And a lot of banks over time have started investing heavily in technology. They had to, they just had to upgrade themselves because they knew that if they didn't do that, smaller companies were going to come and take their market share, their customers. If you look at lending, which is one of the very important services that banks provide, you can see that people are able to take loans from the comfort of their homes, and you're able to decide how much you want to take at any point in time. You can use your USSD. Yeah, like star 737. I used to work with GT Bank, so I know that then when we started the USSD, it started becoming crazy. It started being everywhere. So then you could do a lot of transactions without even having internet and an internet enabled mobile phone. So yes, fintech has successfully disrupted the space of banks. And if you look at it, you find a lot of fintechs also delving into providing banking services. And there has been a very, very huge paradigm shift. The taste of the customer has changed. So sometimes I don't want to leave money in a traditional bank, just sitting there, and you are giving me pennies on my savings. I'd rather move it to maybe an investment startup or an investment arm of a particular company that is more advanced, that I can see the way my money is working, the way my money is moving. My money is working for me practically. I'm getting higher interest rates. I'm able to lend easily. I don't have to go and bring um, my father's house in the village to be able to lend. This has all this come from fintech, from fintech revolution, from banks knowing that they have to do better, they have to serve these customers better. So yes, that's a very, very huge impact.
Yeah, the very nice. You spoken well. The banking sector you made mention first is a very interesting. Seeing what we know that, like you said, there are some of these fintechs are looking towards the banking services because we see a lot of them that are doing well. We also see the likes of Kuda and the rest of them that are also doing very well in that aspect. We see what even when it comes to payment, you see how the likes of Flutterwave and all the rest of them are
Yeah.
also moving things. We see that all these things are making things life easier. All this. You made mention of lending. Lending is a very important aspect. You know
Yeah.
how it is here in Nigeria, so we see how the fintechs are making it. They look very simple, and also micro lending too that people are doing also happen. So, looking at that, let's also look briefly on how it has really affected the agricultural sector, the fintech. Have they been able to do a lot of things there in the agricultural sector? Why I brought this agricultural sector, because agriculture is a very
Yes, very
sensitive and very
important.
important sector. Let's see, are there ways fintech have really played a role in that area?
Yes, thank you very much. I think this is a very, very interesting one too, and bringing agriculture into it. I think when you talk about Nigeria, you talk about agriculture too, because that's like the mainstay of our economy. So it's very, very key. However, if you look at it, bringing financial technology to agri, you wonder exactly what finance has to do with agriculture. But then if you look at it, if you are trying to plant anything, if you are trying to do livestock farming or any type of farming, maybe you are a middleman, maybe you are trying to improve the value chain, wherever you lie on the agricultural value chain, you want to make money. You also need investment, you need money. So this is where fintechs come in. So if you look at it in the last few, maybe 2 or 3 years, you've seen that fintechs have been able to, or fintech financial technology has been able to provide different sources of funding for farmers. So
Yes.
farmers that will usually not be able to get funding easily, or we have to wait for government intervention most of the time. Right now, they do not have to do that anymore. So we've been able to provide alternatives through different startups, through fintech. We've been able to we've seen crowdfunding very, very important. I think that has changed agriculture, at least for me. I mean, I would say that agriculture, yeah, maybe not revolutionize it in Nigeria, but then you've seen that there has been more improvement in agriculture. So that means that all of us can come together and say we want to invest in cassava in this particular state or in this particular local government, and we get farmers that can do that. So we see crowdfunding. Then we talk about payments too, just like the revolution in Kenya. You find out that the mobile money revolution in Canada has helped a lot of farmers. It's kind of working here in Nigeria too, because we have digital payment systems that have been created by fintechs to help improve both investment and purchases of things and all of that. And fintech has also been able to create a platform for farmers, for landowners. Yes, so farmers are able to get arable land easily. They're able to access arable land because as fintech, we have been able to provide platforms for investors and even consumers too. So once they finish, once it's harvest time, farmers are able to connect with consumers very easily, thanks to investment, fintechs, thanks to improvement in technology and all these things. And most of these platforms are usually very, very transparent. Some of them are decentralized, and they are very, very resourceful, and also they improve public engagement in agriculture, which I think that is very, very key for a country like Nigeria. So I believe those are the places where fintech has helped agriculture.
Thank you very much for that. So, our audience, please do well to drop in your questions. This is a very interesting topic, a very interesting one. We must say it's really been very good. So, if you are a startup watching, found out you were looking to look towards that direction, is a very good one. You've been able to see these, some of the challenges. We've been able to understand briefly what the fintech is. So let's look at what are some of the opportunities in fintech. So are there opportunities, numerous opportunities for fintech startups in Nigeria?
Yes, definitely. I think that's the answer to it. There are numerous opportunities, and why do we have so many opportunities? We have so many problems in this country, numerous problems. So yes, that's why that's an advantage to you as a potential entrepreneur who is looking at investing in fintech or trying to start having a fintech startup. There are too many problems to solve, and there are some that have been solved, like payments, of course, lending, but then there's still more to be done because our population is increasing. Then, if you look at most of the solutions that we've created them for people like me, people that are maybe you have a certain level of education. So it's easy for you to be able to access all these things and understand them. I think there's still more to be done to go to the rural areas, to come down that old chain, that hierarchy, to people that are maybe less educated or partially educated. So there's still a lot to be done. There are opportunities. If you get that funding, do well to actually create the solutions. If you sit down from the comfort of your room and think about the problems you have when it comes to finance, I'm sure that there are too many problems to solve. So there's a huge opportunity, there's a huge market here in Nigeria. And you see, that's why you have so many investments coming in. So many investors are coming into the country to put their money in fintech because they know that, yes, I mean, we have opportunity. There are so many opportunities. And if also looking at advancement in finance too, and you see that in Nigeria we have like the best financial system on the world stage. At least I'm sure that we are top 10 when it comes to finance and financial system, banking system, and all of that. So it shows that we have really, really improved. However, there's still a very, very long way to go. I believe that there are several opportunities, and there is space for growth. There's space for more investment, and and I think I would like to give an example of Flutterwave. You see that Flutterwave is now worth $3 billion. I mean, that was announced about 2 weeks ago because of injection of some funds, and there's still a very huge market for them. They are probably serving say maybe 5 or 10 million customers, and we have at least 50 million Nigerians that should be served. That is adults that need to be served in terms of payments, in terms of lending, in terms of investments, in terms of savings, deposits. So it just tells you that yes, there's still a very, very huge market here, and there's still a lot to be done, giving you assurance that there are opportunities in the fintech space.
Thank you very much. Being able to explain this, I will be going to this audience segment, getting questions from them. For our audience, just shortly, we'll be going to that segment. If you have questions, I know questions are coming up here. I'm being notified that we are having some questions. We just need more. Send them in. We'll be taking a lot of questions from the audience. So I'll be able to post my own questions. So, but before I go to the audience, taking questions from them, let me get briefly how you're making contribution in the ecosystem. We know that you left the banking sector and you are now into the fintech and blockchain sector. How are you making contributions?
Okay, yes. In terms of contributions, how will I put it? I would say I put in 5.5 years in a bank. That's a very, very huge contribution. I'm sure that yes, I'm a very advanced bank for that matter. But I just felt like there's more that I could do by getting into that startup space. So apart from trying to come up with a blockchain startup and doing a weekly blockchain show called Banks and Blockchain that practically speaks about the advantages of blockchain technology. I mean, adoption of blockchain technology to banks and other financial institutions. And I believe that that's going. I mean, we are making a lot of progress in terms of empowerment. I mean, enlightenment and education of a lot of people, a lot of financial services, letting them know that decentralized finance doesn't have to do only with crypto. You can bring in blockchain into services, into payment, and make payment faster. It makes it cheaper. Apart from that, I also have a 9 to 5 with an open banking platform called Mono. So that's in the fintech space, and we are doing exceedingly well as far as I'm concerned. As far as I would say, we got funding. It's not my space to speak about it, but then I think that I've been able to contribute in by being a product partner with the fintech startup, and that is doing very well, and is expanding the fintech space, and bringing more solutions. We have created a lot of solutions for businesses, and in turn for consumers, trying to move the fintech gospel forward. So in terms of contributions, I would say yes, and of course I speak on fintech subjects. I have a community where we do free speech, free speaking, try to educate a lot of people. And sometimes when I find time, I go to the market and just, tell people, just preach the gospel of easy finance, of easy access to financial services. Let some people just know. Whenever I have the opportunity, I just do that, because I think all of us have to be evangelists of fintech everywhere we go. So you have to keep carrying the flag, and it doesn't have to do when you're in front of camera alone. You can always do that when you have people around that are not as educated as you are about fintech and the impact of technology on what they're doing.
Okay, thank you very much for that. I really appreciate you making a lot of contributions in the ecosystem, and that's very good. And also, I know also it will encourage other people to come into the ecosystem. There are a lot of opportunities in the blockchain, the fintech ecosystem, I must say, because I'm also there. So right about now, we'll be taking questions from the audience. So remember that this program is brought to you by OKX Cryptocurrency Exchange. OKX is a cryptocurrency exchange where you can buy and sell cryptocurrencies. And also it's live here on Coinbase Extra TV, CNETv, which is the largest and the first and leading 247 live broadcast TV for blockchain, crypto, and fintech. So everything you need to know about blockchain, cryptocurrency, we are here for you 247. We have our dedicated app, which will be unveiling a lot of things very soon. So right now, let's take a quick break, just 2 seconds break. We'll be right back with the questions from the audience. Okay, welcome back to the show. It's still okay, stars live on CNETv. So it's that very amazing segment where we'll take questions from the audience. So I have some questions here. Let me be taking them. So a lot of them here. Isiaku Abubakar, please, what's the stand of Brazil on crypto regulations? This one is asking on crypto regulations in Brazil. What can you say about that?
I think that I would rather concentrate on Nigeria and Africa. I think that as a subject, I think that we should be more concerned about what is ours. So I think you can just check and see what it is. But I think that, okay, so in terms of I would say maybe in terms of investment and all of that, Brazil is seeing a lot of investment in cryptocurrency, and government is beginning to look at how they can regulate, but I'm not sure exactly if it's friendly or unfriendly, just like the Nigerian space.
Okay, I believe asking that question, you can go to OKX there and ask that question on this. Maybe Twitter, follow them on Twitter and Telegram at OKX Africa, OKX Africa. So they will be able to, you can drop those questions. No, this one is far from what we are discussing today.
Yeah.
Why did in Nigeria is still Isaac Abubakar? Did Naira really fail?
I'm shocked. Inara failed. Inara has not failed, and I don't believe that it will, because away from what we think or what we assume and what we hear, I think that it's been a great initiative. Taking that stand, because a lot of countries, at least 80 central banks all over the world, are looking at having a central bank digital currency. So for Nigeria spearheading that in the continent like Africa, it kind of steals our position in terms of the fact that we want to be the giant when it comes to economy, when it comes to finance, the financial system. So it shows that we are kind of looking forward, and I don't think it has anything to do with I don't just want to say that it's failed. You can't say that it has failed, and I don't agree with the fact that it has failed, and I don't think that it will. Maybe adoption is low, which is, I mean, is in infant stages for now, but then I'm sure that in the coming months, in the coming years, you'll see improvement. And what Inara has done for us is opened the eyes of more people to blockchain technology, because by the time you start to understand how Inara works, yes, it may not be the decentralization that blockchain actually brings that we are using here, because it's a private blockchain, but then it has, it has helped, it will open doors definitely. So more investors are going to come in to see that, oh yes, Nigeria is serious about blockchain technology, and we start having more blockchain startups, start creating more solutions with blockchain technology. So yes, Inara has not failed.
It has not been surprised when I saw that particular operation. But we are so happy with Nigeria with that boosted to with eNaira, which is the first CBDC in Africa. Question from Kenneth John. He said, do you think blockchain will change the financial status of Nigerian youth?
Well, that's a very I would say that's a big question. But if I'm to speak to it, I would say yes, absolutely. Um, Blockchain is meant to change your life. Blockchain is meant to make things simpler. Blockchain is meant to make transaction easy to consummate. Blockchain is meant to make transactions cheaper. So I would say that in terms of financial status, it's going to create more opportunities for young people like me, for young people like you, by the time you have more blockchain adoption, because we'll be creating more solutions, like I mentioned earlier. So you have proliferation of more companies looking at blockchain technology. And, by the time if you're able to learn about it, you can definitely change your own financial status. You can improve your own life. I think that's just to say that yes, blockchain technology can change your life. And I'm thinking maybe
Yes.
it's crypto person meant.
Yes, it can. A lot of opportunities in the blockchain ecosystem, and we still at the infant stage. It's just one coming being able to know. It's not about cryptocurrency. That's what I really tell people. They know a lot of people think when you talk about blockchain
Not
is
just
cryptocurrency. So there are a lot of opportunities. You can apply it in different sectors and still create wealth. Because what we are after here, man, Coin User is about helping youths, especially African youth, using blockchain to creating wealth and innovation. So there are a lot of opportunities there. So I have one from Crypto Law. Government are much in support of fintech companies, mostly because of the gains in tax, etc. Why is government not really helping projects and funding startup companies?
Yes, the government not funding startups or helping projects. I think if you had joined earlier, you would know that we spoke about one of the challenges of startups or fintech being regulation. However, I think the government is in tune with that, and they've been coming up with different regulatory sandboxes and all of that. But I think that we can do more. I think the government may not be seeing beyond beyond what is happening now. They are not seeing that. They might not be seeing the advantages that you can have by the time you create an enabling environment for fintechs. And I cannot speak on behalf of the government, but I can say that yes, you need more visionary leadership to be able to really see the potential that you can create, the ways you can help project like this person has mentioned. So I can say maybe vision and understanding and knowledge may be one of the reasons why the government is not helping. In your own words, yeah.
Okay, I have some words from comments from Dr. Tammy Francis. Yes, there are so many options and so opportunities in this space for all ages and all educational backgrounds. Just a comment. This one from Afana Funa Ebuka. How can banks adopt blockchain technology? And this is a very good one for you, banks and blockchain.
Yes, yes. So blockchain has different use cases that banks can use. Um, However, I think that it's very, very key to look at the advantages that you can have applying blockchain technology to banking and also look at disadvantages. We have looked at most of all these things thanks to a platform like Banks and Blockchain, and we know that the advantages exceed disadvantages. So in terms of adoption, you can adopt it for payments, especially cross-border payments. So for now, if you are going to transfer a certain amount of dollars, you'll be charged at least 0.5% of the amount. So that means if you are transferring $1,000, you are going to be charged $5, which that means whatever is going to get to that person, there will be less than $5. You'll be charged $20 offshore charge. You'll be charged one thing. And why is this? Because there are so many middlemen that need to make fees and also, enhance the transaction. But then what blockchain does is take out all these middlemen. So people like Swift that take maybe a certain amount of your money that you're transferring will no longer be there for the transaction. So that means you're just transferring from here to
Mhm.
anywhere in the world and it's hitting immediately. So bank can apply this. That's just a use case for cross-border payments, and I think that's a lot of banks. Many banks abroad. I'm sure even in the continent of Africa, in South Africa, have already started testing the use of blockchain for cross-border transfers. For also data storage. There are just a lot of use cases for adoption of blockchain for banks. But I'll just speak on that one alone.
Thank you very much. I think that's how far we can go with questions from the audience. I know there is a question from Crypto Love. Let me see if we can just in 1 minute because of our
Yeah.
time. Crypto Love is asking again, talking about helping startup. Is there a way banks in Nigeria can help lend money to them without without taking their fathers or your father's inheritance?
Yeah.
What can you say about that? Just in 1 minute.
Okay. Banks have already evolved beyond that. So having to bring collateral may not be the case except you are borrowing for a business or you're borrowing a very large amount. So now it can just be your salary that can be your collateral. By the time you start receiving salary from a particular bank, they'll tell you how much you can take. Then some other SMEs too, they have to see your statement of account and all of that. So I think banks have evolved, and that's why we say that fintech has helped us. We've gotten data. We're able to generate data easily, get people's statement from other banks and all of that to know how they are performing in those places, and also some credit checks, do credit checks and everything. So yes, banks have evolved beyond bringing your father's inheritance to borrow money.
Okay, thank you very much. There are some questions there from my side too, and from the audience because our time is fetched. So thank you very, very much for doing justice to this particular topic and the questions. I really appreciate. So before we go, just in 1 minute, your closing remark.
Okay, yes. First, I would like to thank OKX and CNETv. Thank you, Lee, too, for honoring me and bringing me on this show to do justice to fintech in Nigeria. And you are out there as an audience. I think that you've heard that there are opportunities in the fintech world. So do not think that we've gotten. In fact, we just started. We've not even scratched the surface. There are a lot of more flutter waves that will come up. There are a lot of more pay stacks. There are a lot of more paga that we should be seeing. So please be more innovative. Look at it. See what you can do. See what you can contribute. And also, let's believe that in contributing all these things, we're also helping the Nigerian economy. We're helping the African economy. But fintech is here to stay, and it's just the beginning. And yes, in terms of the economy, we as fintech, we are going to do more. We are going to help Nigeria and grow Nigeria. And yes, God being our help. So thank you very much, and I'm very glad to be here.
Thank you very much. We know you're a very busy person, and thank you for honoring our invitation. We really appreciate. We hope you also be coming anytime we invite you to come help us talk about different topics and educate people about this amazing ecosystem, the blockchain and the fintech ecosystem. Thank you once again, and also I really appreciate our audience who took our time to come stay with us, to listen and also learn about this ecosystem. And also thanks to OKS. OKS is This program is brought to you by OKX Cryptocurrency Exchange. You can follow them on their social media, Twitter and Telegram at OKX Africa, OKX Africa. Just do well to follow them, and also they are a platform where you can buy and sell cryptocurrencies. So thank you very much, and also thanks to the studio managers here, the technical team here who are doing justice. I really appreciate. You know how we do it. This show comes your way every Saturday, 8 p.m. West African time, live on Coin News Extra TV, CNETv. You can follow us to get an update about all the things that are happening in the blockchain, crypto, and fintech ecosystem in Africa and around the world. Follow us across all our social media at CNETv1. Thank you very much. I remain your uncle, Jamal here. See you next week. Thank you, Fabuman. Thank you. Oh, bye-bye.